Real Analysis and Information Center presents. When we say Azerbaijan, we mean its wealth and its beautiful nature. However, along with them, the real wealth of the Republic is the people who have lived in this land for centuries, who have tied their destiny and their lives to this land, who are of different nationalities and religions. The more people a country unites, the richer it will be. Xəbərə REAL, national leader. IronFist, a film by Mir Şahin. There is such a saying in the Azerbaijani language. Not all the 5 fingers are equal or the same. However, there is an unwritten law of anatomy and a part of the body in which all 5 fingers merge and can be one. It's called a fist. When it is necessary to come together and make a fist, all the fingers have to be the same height as each other. The 44-day patriotic war waged by Azerbaijan is a single fist, one in single fist. Hello? Shamil Abdurrahimov? Yes, it's me. Please come to the mobilization department in Gusar district at 3 o'clock tomorrow. All right. And Mama, make more bread. I'll take it with me.
We will cook as much as needed.
Give back my cap when you return. As you wish. Good luck. Thank you. So, how was it? Okay, let's play one more round. Okay, go and come back safe and sound. We'll play as much as you want, God willing. We're having a competition in 2 months. Get ready for it.
Sure.
You have led us to peace. You have guided our steps to peace. And you have allowed us to reach our goal, life, joy, and peace.
Raman, good way. Safe and sound, my child. God bless you.
Don't worry, Mom. Everything will be okay. Who else went to the army from our class? Yeah, everybody's there. Have you taken your military card? Yeah, it's here.
Good way, safe and sound. God bless you, my child.
Safe and sound, Mom. Don't worry. Everything will be over soon, and I'll be back.
Okay.
It's time to go.
I'll miss you.
After the victory, I'll walk around the city in these clothes. Homeland is like a fist. The nations that live brotherly in the homeland strengthen and make this fist strong and mighty. Neither the homeland sacrifices one finger, nor one of these nations sacrifice the homeland. Although our languages and religions are different, we have one and the same homeland. We all are great Azerbaijanis. One goes through different experiences for the land. However, one feels the ground with the feet. It's an inexplicable feeling. Have you ever felt a pulse with your feet? It never occurred to you that as you walk on the ground, your feet become revitalized? I'm Lezgi by nationality. It doesn't matter whether I'm Lezgi, Azerbaijani, Talish, Avar. We have always been together. As we are one together, we have united and made one fist. As we have made one fist, the enemy has seen. Everyone has seen that what we are capable of. As a child, Hamid loved martial art. He had loved it since his childhood. When Hamid was 5 years old, there was a film on TV about Hazi Aslanov. In the film, General Mehmandarov asked Hazi what he would become when he grew up. Hazi answered that he would become a general. It was as if these words were engraved in Hamid's memory. When Hamid was asked what he would become, he would say, I will become a general. Hamid graduated from high school with honors. I insisted on his going to another school, but he chose a military school. He studied at the academy named after Hazrat Aslanov. Then he went to serve in the war zone. The enemies fired on 2 tanks from Hamid's military unit. After taking a few villages in the village of Nuzgar, he saw that 2 tanks had been hit, and men could not get out of the tanks. Hamid drove his tank, and for 40 minutes, Hamid fought until they were silenced. There were 39 military outfits. When he finished, he wanted to return. But while returning, he was shot. 2 shells were fired at his tank. Hamid was killed there. He always said that they had representatives of many nations there. They worked together. He would say, "We are the military men. We are equal people. We have one and the same plan. We have the same intention to drive away the Armenians from our lands." The patriotic war makes all the steps taken on the homeland equal. It turns the most ordinary walks into an average statistical regular march in an instant. In other words, the average statistical status of all the steps taken on the motherland, from the first step of the baby to the last step of the aged, is a military step.
He liked and chose his profession, and we did not oppose him. He was a child who loved his family, his homeland, his work. He would not reveal to us any secrets. He was a child who loved Azerbaijan. He would not reveal to us any secrets from his work. We, the mothers of martyrs, must stand straight. I'm proud of him, my son, Zaur. He will always be in my heart. He lives and will live forever, the way he was.
We are stepping instead of them. We breathe instead of them. We live instead of them. Their feet, their lungs, and their souls are the sources of our steps, our breath, our souls. When they opened their hearts, which they had not yet opened to anyone, they left the beating of their hearts to our hearts. They left to put their shoulders under the ground. Let our land rest on those shoulders. Let these shoulders carry the burden of our land. Azerbaijan won the biggest and most decisive battle in its history. Our shells, bullets, tanks, cannons, and missiles were the alloy of the iron fist of our supreme commander-in-chief. This victory was achieved because millions of signatures were signed under it. At the beginning of these signatures, millions of fists were raised in the same direction as the single fist. Multinationalism in Azerbaijan opposed to monopoly in Armenia. Not one, but several nations defended the homeland in Azerbaijan. They went to war in this way. Azerbaijan is also their sacred home. Turks, Talish, Lezgis, Avars, Georgians, Ingloy, Udi, Russians, and Jews stood like a fist, like a single Azerbaijani, in front of those who rebelled against this hearth. This fist is not an ordinary fist. It is an iron fist. With this iron fist, we crush and will crush the head of the enemy. At the same time, this fist is a symbol of our unity. Today, the Azerbaijani people are united like this fist. It will always be so. This unity will last forever. This unity will allow us to perform all tasks in the future. The decades-long policy pursued by Armenia failed. They were wrong about the people living in Azerbaijan. They appealed to the people, our native people, not to take part in the war against the Armenians. We will not take you captive. You are coming back to your house. They talked as if they were deceiving the child. But the heads in front of them were ready to sacrifice to the motherland. Those heads would become a place of oath of martyrdom. I have not stopped in the background of this TV tower by chance. This TV tower has been one of the propaganda tools used by Armenian separatists to penetrate into Azerbaijan for many years. Armenians used this tower as a repeater in their campaign launched in Yerevan to mislead ethnic minorities living in the Republic of Azerbaijan. Through this tower, Talish, Lezgi, Avars, Ingloy, and Russians were addressed individually and collectively to fight against Azerbaijan, fight against the Azerbaijani state. As the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Republic of Azerbaijan mentioned, it broke the backs of the bearers of that idea and crushed their heads. All the national treasures I have mentioned above gathered in this iron fist. The reason for expelling the enemy from our land was the unity of our army, the unity of the people. We would not have won this victory if our people were not united, if the people in the army were not united around the Supreme Commander-in-Chief. The nets, hooks, and traps were left empty in the weak item game that the Armenians started long before the war. Armenia's intentions in the propaganda war failed, as the homeland is the same in the Talish language. Because the meaning of the word fight is the same in the Lezgi language. Because every nation living in Azerbaijan calls their dead child a martyr. Both the Russian, Jew, and Udi, the word martyr is not translated.
It's not only my brother. In the person of my brother, we have 2,783 martyrs. Each of them had a mother. Each of them belongs to the same family. It doesn't matter if they are Talish, Lezgi, Tatar, or Avar. They united and liberated 20% of the occupied lands of Azerbaijan. May the soul of all our martyrs rest in peace. There are also many people wounded in the war. God bless them. After graduating from university, he went to actual military service. He served in Qaradağlı village of Ağdam region. He had always been at the forefront of battles since the beginning of the war. His last battle was on October 6. On the one hand, it's unbearable pain. On the other hand, I'm glad that my son fell a martyr for the liberation of our lands.
Every inch of the land liberated from occupation was measured with a handful of iron fist. There is an autograph of victory on every liberated street, on every bar, on every stone, on the wall of every house, in the footprints of the minor but mighty peoples of Azerbaijan.
My brother perished heroically in the battles for Fuzili region. On October 6, he spoke to us for the last time. He said, "Mother, sister, I'm fine, don't worry. We are looked after very well. Everything will be fine. Our state takes care of us. Our president takes care of us." On the 9th of October, he was heroically murdered in the battles for Fuzili region. Everyone knows this. Everyone says it. I'm proud that my brother was martyred for motherland.
First, I joined the battles in the direction of Kelbejer. After Kelbejer, we moved in the direction of Agdara, Aguchur. I was wounded on October 5th in Agdara. When the cars were taken out of the trucks, they ambushed the truck, and I was wounded there. It didn't matter if I was Ingloy, Avar, Lezgi. Everyone was like a brother there. Everyone was there to take revenge, to fight for the motherland. For example, there was a boy next to me from the neighboring village, Kortala village. I told him to go and take revenge for his brother. His brother was martyred in 1993. We said, let's go. Let's take revenge for his brother. Thank God we could take revenge. Peace beyond the souls of our martyrs. We are always ready to go to war, to be always strong, to protect the lands of Azerbaijan and to sacrifice our lives under the leadership of Mr. President, Supreme Commander-in-Chief, İlham Aliyev. This war was not just a war of one country. This was not a struggle of one nation, but a struggle of several peoples, our native peoples, who rose to their feet to protect Azerbaijan. In the danger that befell our homeland, the Talish, Lezgi, Russian, Malakan, and Jews themselves were like weapons and ammunition. All the residents of our village, as Azerbaijani citizens, did not stay aside. The youth of our village took part in the fierce battles for the liberation of our lands. They faithfully fulfilled their duties to the motherland. Among them, those who took part in the battles were awarded 25 medals and prizes for their heroism. We have always lived and continue to live as a whole family. As citizens of this country, all the problems of our state are our problems. We are ready to solve all the problems of our state together. This victory showed us the unity of our people because we observed the course of the whole war. Not only from Astara, but also from Lenkaran, Masalı, and from other regions, from Zakatala to Gusar, Guba. There was no difference among Talish, Lezgi, Avar, or Turk. We were all firmly united around Mr. President. The people have already shown their unity to their homeland, to their country, and to their president. I am sure that this will continue so. A great sense of revenge for what they had lost for decades united them. They felt Shusha, Lachin, Kabuljer, Agdam, Füzuli, Zengilan, Xəbərə REAL, Qubadlı, Hadrut in Lenkaran, Gusar, Qəbələ, Baku, Şəki, and Yardımlı. After being discharged from the army, he led such work. In the following periods, love and patriotism were felt in all the places where he worked. I have always felt the feelings of patriotism in Vusal. I had no intention of keeping Vusal from protecting the motherland on such a difficult day. Vusal himself could not stay aside in this situation. As a reserve senior lieutenant, Vusal went to the military service conscription on September 21st. He took part in the trainings. I knew that he was a volunteer. How did I know that? It's a very interesting point. I think it will be interesting for all of you. One day, there were no war talks yet. Of course, there were some tensions in July and August. One day, after the tragic death of General Polat Hashimov, he came home, and when our president was making a speech on TV, he suddenly put his hand on his forehead and said, "Mr. Commander-in-Chief, Senior Lieutenant Vusal Kazimov is waiting for your order." We wondered what the matter was. He said, "Father, today I went and got registered for mobilization and conscription." I said that was his personal opinion. I could not oppose it. I only respected his decision. They felt the pain of the ruined places under occupation in all the cells in this part of the country. By cleansing the church from Armenian fascism, a Slavic Christian Azerbaijani took revenge for the mosque where the Armenians left a pig on the pulpit. Today we can be proud that we were able to liberate this church from the Armenian fascists. The reason for our victory was that we, all peoples, the representatives of all peoples living in Azerbaijan, united as one fist, liberated our occupied lands from Armenian bandits. Karabakh is Azerbaijan, and we are proud that we could fulfill our duty to our homeland. Speaking in the background of Isa Spring, Udi from Azerbaijan, a Christian Azerbaijani, thought till the interview that this spring was named after Jesus. But it doesn't matter. Let it be so. For a Christian, the fountain could be Jesus. The cloud could be Jesus. The sky could be Jesus. Let the intention be a holy homeland. I am Udi by nationality. I'm currently in military service. I took part in the battles for Xəbərə, Xocavind, Fuzuli, and Shusha. As an Udi, as a Christian, I dedicate this victory to my native people, my country, my homeland. This war showed that our name, Azerbaijani, is greater and widely spread than other names of our nationality. It's strange. The explanation is as incomprehensible as the Creator himself. In an instant, you leave your mother, father, relatives, and dear people for the sake of the land. You get ready for eternity as you prepare for the greatest feast, and sew into it the most blessed garment of the world, the garment of martyrdom. After Polat Hashimov's death, almost all young people became interested in the war. The fighting spirit for the liberation of the homeland was encouraged in all of them. I'm a former military man. For the first time, I volunteered and got registered myself. My son, who is 25, served at the State Border Service, and he volunteered too. My second son, Tarlan, he was 20 years old and just returned from military service a year ago. He also went and got registered himself voluntarily. He was called to military service. He left on the 29th of September. He took part in the battles for Fuzuli, Xəbərə, and Hadrut. At that time, almost all the young people in Azerbaijan were united. The whole nation united around the supreme commander-in-chief after he addressed the nation. The people supported him, and they still support him. The people rose to their feet with this single word. In those days, we witnessed ourselves how the territory became a homeland and the population became a nation. It wasn't just an emotional fact. This is not a method used by a publicist with more or less poetic feeling to create feelings and emotion in an audience. This is the result of another struggle. The result of invisible, confidential, secret wars between two countries. Armenian special services also faced defeat in Azerbaijan. They thought that they could set traps in the north and south of the country again as they did in the summer of 1993. The policy pursued by the government at that time turned the Karabakh War into the cause of division of the people. This time, the Azerbaijani state was able to make the Karabakh War the reason for the unity of the people. The Armenians could not pull back a single finger of the giant iron fist this time. They did not bend. We did not retreat at all. We stood firmly and resisted the enemy. It was due to the fact that the people were completely renewed and strengthened and became an example of national unity. Karabakh is Azerbaijan. The new name of the Turks, Talish, Lezgi, Malakan, Jews, Kurds, Russians, Udi, and others became national unity. Everyone had one and the same leader. Everyone followed his example and moved towards victory, heights, and greatness. The representatives of different nations have lived in Azerbaijan as a whole family for centuries. There has never been any religious or national conflict or misunderstanding in Azerbaijan. The Second Karabakh War proved this once again. That is, the representatives of all nations united as a fist under one flag, and every nation living in Azerbaijan has its own valuable and irreplaceable contribution in this victory. I think this is the most transparent mirror I've ever looked at in my life. Although the color of the marble is black, one of the brightest people in the world, a person who justifies hopes, rests in peace here. It seems to me that every citizen of Azerbaijan should come here at least a few times and stand in front of such a mirror, and must learn how to live and to fall martyr with dignity. In the Alley of the Martyrs is a small sapling planted in the ground in every settlement. They will take root under the ground and one day will be fully established in the place of their fathers, grandfathers, and mothers, grandmothers, and grandfathers. Do you remember this little tomb? The holy shrine where Aysun is buried. Homeland does not consist of only mothers, or it cannot be called only the motherland. There are such moments, such situations when we have to call our country not the motherland, but the homeland of our children, the child homeland. Look, this grave of Aysun Iskandarova is a child homeland for me. Each of us is obliged to protect it. At this moment, the homeland becomes our child. There are underground ties between the graves of these martyrs and that grave. This tie is called Karabakh. The unity and solidarity of our people took revenge for the death of Aysun and many others like her, whose lives were cut short for 30 years. Our people did not leave the perpetrators of these events unpunished. In Hocalı, we took revenge for the babies and civilians, mothers, fathers, and grandfathers who were shot and frozen. This was the point of both the First and Second Karabakh Wars. This line of the Alley of Martyrs can also be seen as a junction, a time junction. The point where the victims of the First Karabakh War and those killed in the Second Karabakh War unite. History unites here too. Our brothers who perished for the territorial integrity of Azerbaijan are united here, around a line of victory. May the soul of our martyrs rest in peace. The intimidation of Shusha on May 8, 1992, and Kalbajar on April 2nd was hit by a mighty national fist, which started from Ilham Aliyev's wrist. The Second Karabakh War took place in Genge, Teter, Berde. Today, in the place of forbidden missiles that caused the deaths of civilians and infants while they were sleeping, the spirits of the victorious martyrs are flying. Today, when we say, we have victory in Karabakh, we should not think that we have won Karabakh in our victory, but that we also have restored ourselves. We have restored the parts, the feelings that were cut off from our spirituality. During the war, the representatives of ethnic minorities in Azerbaijan, regardless of being Lezgi, Avar, or Talish, regardless of the region or ethnic group, united and always struck the enemy like a fist and performed the combat mission with great success. I'm Talish by nationality. I'm proud to serve in the armed forces of the Republic of Azerbaijan, and we are always ready to fulfill the task together with our officers, ensigns, and soldiers, and to prevent the provocation of the enemy at any time. I am Avar by nationality. As a representative of the Avar people, I am very proud of having taken part in these battles. I am proud that we also have a share in this victory. I express my deep gratitude to all the people and commanders who helped me to reach this place. I always wanted to be brave, courageous, and fearless like them. They have been my ideal. Hopefully, I will do my best to be a worthy citizen and personality of my homeland, people, and nation. Azerbaijan's friend is my friend, and its enemy is my enemy. As a Lezgi, a part of the Azerbaijani people and the Azerbaijani nation, and as an Azerbaijani citizen, I took part in the Patriotic War, which began on September 27th. I took part in the battles in the direction of Fuzuli, Xəbərə REAL, Qubadlı, and Laçın. I'm proud that the unity of the Azerbaijani nation, the unity of all the peoples living in Azerbaijan, brought us victory. We all had one goal: to liberate Karabakh from occupation. We have achieved this goal. The whole Azerbaijani army, all of us, have achieved this goal, led by the Supreme Commander-in-Chief, İlham Əliyev. It is very gratifying for us. We must translate this victory into the language of each of us, into the language which we can understand from a single sound, from a single word. We must understand and explain that this victory must be taught to our children as a subject. We're not talking about the formal documents of the certificate. These graves are the perfect certificates of a new citizen of Azerbaijan. Martyrs, blessed martyrs' graves. Martyrs' graves, each of which looks like a shoulder strap. The testimony they have reached is the perfection that our children must reach. We must understand that the victory is not only the waving of the Azerbaijani flag on liberated heights. One of the scenes of this victory is what is happening in the streets of Armenia today, the failure and malfunction of the state. We must understand that the Armenians are demonstrating the other side of our great victory in their streets and squares. We are looking at our past and our future from the highest point of our pride, as a full member of Azerbaijan and its people, as part of our state. The Jews also have a unique role in restoring the territorial integrity of Azerbaijan. We remember very well the national hero from the First Karabakh War, Albert Agaronov. The Jews also had their say in the Second Karabakh War. The Jews lived in different settlements, villages, and districts of Azerbaijan. The area where I am standing is called the Red Settlement, where Jewish people live compactly. I personally proudly observed one of the colors of this red settlement in the flag of Azerbaijan. The supporters of the Jewish Albert Agaronov made a trench for Azerbaijan with their own bodies. I am Daniel Zarabaylov, a soldier of Jewish origin. I am proud to fight for the territorial integrity of the Republic of Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan is our country, our homeland. I will fight for my homeland to the last drop of my blood. As a non-nation, we are very pleased with the Azerbaijani state and people. Long live the Azerbaijani state. Long live the glorious Azerbaijani army. We have always tried to be strong by destroying the enemy, by driving them out of the enemy trenches. Thanks to God, we have achieved this. As an Azerbaijani soldier, we never agreed to our lands being under enemy occupation. At last, we had an opportunity to liberate our lands from the enemy. We took advantage of that opportunity. We liberated our lands from occupation. We made the enemy kneel in front of us. Thanks to our unity, we could crush their heads. There are many brave warriors in Azerbaijan from every nation. Regardless of our nationality, whether it's Azeri, Avar, Ingloy, Chahur, all of us are united. We're brothers. It's our country, and we're ready to defend this country. We're ready to sacrifice our lives and shed blood for the sake of the state. It's also our duty. The whole nation, the people of Azerbaijan, united under one fist, as a single fist. All people gathered under one flag. I have been wearing this uniform since 2011, and I've never heard such a saying in the army as, "You are a representative of another nation. You are from Baku, from Lankaran, Astara, or you're Talish, Lezgi, and so on." In general, there's no difference among Talish, Lezgi, Tat, Avar, and the people from Baku and Sumgait. Everyone was united there as brothers. There was great enthusiasm. Even if we did not have weapons, we would have taken that land with our teeth and nails. We saw the whole nation had risen to their feet. Everyone wanted to join the army. It doesn't matter. The whole Azerbaijan, every part of Azerbaijan came to support us. Our territorial integrity would definitely be restored. It was due to the fact that İlham Əliyev ensured the moral integrity of the people. Azerbaijan had to win, because İlham Əliyev awakened the winning habits of these people. By winning on the sports arenas, knowledge contests, and political platforms, these people better understood that defeat was a shame. Every nation in Azerbaijan has the contribution and the service in the mentioned victories. Those victorious exercises should have given birth to the victory on the front, a victory in battle. When the Armenians appealed to the Talış people, they thought that their separate intentions would come true, and the brave Talış would be deceived by their provocations. In fact, they were shocked when the brave sons of the Talış people accepted the martyrdom, not the guilt. On October 27th, we received an assignment to move in the direction of the Red Bazaar, and were divided into groups. That is, the battalion commander himself and his deputies separately led each of the groups. Our group commander was also the deputy battalion commander, our martyr, Javadov Jalil. We were ambushed. The enemy was 50 to 60 meters ahead of us and 20 to 30 meters higher. We were not sure there would be enemies there. It was just a probability. But it turned out that the enemy was about to meet us there. We were a group of 14 people, and about 50 to 60 Armenians came out of the trenches at the same time and started firing at us. We were divided into groups of 3 or 4 people within our group and scattered in the area in this way. We were in the open area and they were in the trenches. We could not fight them as we wanted. We stayed in the open area. We had no shelter there, nothing. We started to fight the enemy with all of our might. 11 people out of our 14 from our group were killed. I sent a man to get help, and the enemy did not allow him to cross that height. Apart from me, another friend of mine, Afghan, came out wounded. As a Georgian nation, we are ready to unite with other nations around our president. Although I am a Takur by nationality, like other minorities living in Azerbaijan, I volunteered to fulfill my duty to my motherland. I'm proud of that. Thanks to our Supreme Commander-in-Chief, İlham Əliyev, we had a great chance to liberate the lands that we had longed for 30 years. And we took advantage of this opportunity and liberated our lands from the Armenian occupiers. Having heard about the battles for our territorial integrity, I volunteered, as we had expected this moment for a long time. Finally, we could realize our desire. There were many young people and volunteers with me, mainly from Mahmudaga village and from other regions. We took an active part in restoring our territorial integrity and liberated our lands from being trampled under the enemy. In this battle, regardless of their origin, of the area they belonged, everyone did what they had to do. Our people who perished for the sake of Azerbaijan and aspired to this land did everything necessary for making this place the civilization, the motherland. A man who from the north, who was martyred in Nagorno-Karabakh, turned it into the north. A man from the south into the south, the western man into the west, and the eastern man into the east. The homeland where all the poles are united around a single spiritual axis, a new Azerbaijani model is being formed in our liberated territories now. Today I have come here to visit our martyrs. I think that we may not be able to go visit some of them, but we have come here and I ask God's mercy for the souls of all the martyrs. Peace be upon our martyrs. We love our homeland. We love Azerbaijan. We are ready to sacrifice our lives for the sovereignty and development of Azerbaijan. May God bless the souls of our martyrs. Martyrdom is the summit, the highest point of the homeland. Therefore, may God bless the souls of all our martyrs. We have always rejoiced in good days of the Azerbaijani people, and we are always together in difficult periods. Topkana of 1988. It all started from this Topkana forest. Both the Square movement of Azerbaijan and the National Liberation Movement. On November 8, 2020, along with Shusha, Topkana was also liberated from occupation. We are restoring our national honor and national pride by returning the spirit of these trees. The main function of trees is to strengthen the bottom of the soil, to keep it firmly in place, to connect its roots with the roots of the homeland. In short, to reach the bottom of the homeland, to turn their roots into shoulders in order to carry the burden of homeland. The Armenians cut off these trees at that time. They could cut only the top, not the root. From the roots, these new shoots sprouted, grew, and replanted today. Today, the warriors of the victorious Supreme Commander-in-Chief Ilham Aliyev are taking another historic step in Topkana Forest. This step, reflecting the unity of Azerbaijani nation, is a fact that can change the fate of these forests, which were seized from us in 1988. There are Lezgi, Talish, Avar, and other nations among them whom we have not mentioned. These warriors, like the image of the Azerbaijani people, opened their fists today, like a picture of our iron fist. The new forest to be created from this hand, the descendant of this forest, will remain in history as the ancestor of future Topkana.